Yo, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back into the channel. Jake Reid coming back at you with part 2 of this 10-year challenge here on Madden 19 in honor of the Madden 20 release. Now, today is what day of the week? Tuesday. Madden 20, for me, I'm going to be getting it Thursday night. So we have a little bit of a gap to bridge here until we get to Thursday night, and I'm bringing you guys fresh Madden content on the new game. But with that being said, I thought it was prudent to do something here on Madden 19 to kind of honor the release of Madden 20 to transition into it, and that's what this 10-year challenge represents. We're trying to get the Lions to a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl by the end of our 10th year. We're giving ourselves a 10-year cap. Now, we've done 5 seasons up to this point. We have made 4 playoff berths in all of those 5 seasons and lost every single one of our 4 playoff games. So, going forward, we're making more drastic moves in order to try and get this team to where it needs to be. Now, a majority of the team is left in place as it was prior to getting off the first episode. We have our entire O-line still in place. We have Taylor Decker, Ragnow. We have a rookie or a second-year player at center. We got Connor Williams out of a trade and Marpet out of a trade. So good offensive line still supporting this team. We have Hawkinson at tight end, backed up by Jesse James. And then obviously we have our superstar quarterback in this franchise at a 96 overall out of Nebraska, only 26 years old, Quinn Cummins at quarterback. And we made a move in order to try and support the offense more, because the issue that we were having up to this point was, I think we were having issues at the running back spot, because I did off screen go and kind of look into it, what our issue was, and rushing total wise, we weren't getting a lot of rushing yards, even though we had 2 very good running backs. And so what we're going with is more of a superstar look. We traded for Christian McCaffrey by giving away like 3 or 4 80 plus overall high end players, and brought in Christian McCaffrey to support Quinn Cummins, and that took trading away some of our wide receiver depth. That took trading away Kenny Galladay and other players like that. That took trading away our running back, both of our running backs actually. And we ended up getting Christian McCaffrey back in return. Now, we also brought in a wide receiver. These were 2 big moves. We brought in a younger superstar wide receiver, not technically superstar development, but 25 years old at an 88 overall, very good wide receiver. We brought in this guy to be kind of our young guy moving forward for the next 5 years, because we were kind of aging quite a bit in the wide receiver category. So now we have 3 strong wide receivers, all guys that we probably won't recognize because we have had to move on from quite a few players. And then, defensively speaking, the team is solid. We brought in Thornhill last year in free agency, and Walker's a great backup safety for us. We brought in Carl Joseph previously, and the linebacker squad is solid with Reddick, Baker, Gerard Davis, and Shaq Thompson across the board at linebackers. So I'm confident in our defense and don't feel like we have to make too many moves, because we also have Byron Murphy, who we signed last year, Quincy Wilson, and Sidney Jones. We have a very strong defense at every single position. Now, we did lose a defensive end here. We had to trade away. That's what we had to do. We had to trade away Trey Flowers in order to make some of these moves happen, bringing in McCaffrey and Himes here. Trading away Trey Flowers was one of the big moves that we had to make. So we do have a defensive line spot to fill. And then offensively speaking, we have to fill the center position and maybe try and get better elsewhere. But if we can't win the Super Bowl on this, I don't know how much more we can do to get this team to a point where they will simulate win a Super Bowl. So let's go ahead into free agency. We haven't viewed free agency yet. We don't have much cap space at all. And that's going to be a big issue for us, is that we have basically no cap space. We might have to trade away some players in order to get cap space. But it just is what it is. I mean, the team is what it is. Cap space-wise, we are a bit hamstrung. I don't really know what we could do in terms of cap space to actually alleviate some of that pressure. What you see money-wise, we signed Cummins to a decent contract, and then some of the more highly paid players that we could probably get off the books would be like Ashawn Robinson, because he's highly paid for what his overall actually is. Maybe Reddick whenever it comes time, because we did pay him quite a bit. Taylor Decker's getting up there in age, and overall not that great, but you know, we're paying players fairly, in my opinion. Quincy Wilson might be one that we could try and get off the books, but we'll have to review this later on because we are paying quite a few players, quite a bit of money, and we might need to make some moves to clear out some of this cap space because, as you can see here, we don't have any room to really sign anybody through free agency. So we're just going to review who's here. Positionally, we did want to fill in a defensive lineman. It would be nice to be able to get one of these guys, but I'm not sure we would be able to get any of these guys considering where we're at in terms of salary cap. I don't think any of these guys would really be able to fit in with what we're doing exactly. And I think part of the issue, additionally to all of this, is that we're not doing training. All the training is simulated at this point, and so that kind of affects us negatively because when you're not able to do the training, your players don't progress as well. Luckily, our quarterback has progressed very well so far, so I think we've just maybe had some issues at the other positions trying to actually develop players the way that we would quite like to. Yeah, there's not a ton here. I mean, offensive line-wise, we might want to look. Yeah, there's not much here. We did want to bring in Lyle Collins a while ago, but not going to bring him in now. We'll go ahead and just advance the draft because there's nobody here for us to sign, and we're going to have to deal with cap issues moving forward. That's going to be one of the big things that we have to alleviate and negotiate our way around. Actually, part of the reason why we had to make these trades for Christian McCaffrey and Himes was cap issues. We didn't have enough cap to sign Cummins, and so we realized that we had to trade away players in order to be able to re-sign these guys to contracts so we could fit them in under the salary cap. So we had to make some trades to alleviate cap to bring these to be able to bring these guys back, and so that was really important for us. So we're going to go ahead and start the NFL draft and hope that we can get a center and a defensive lineman was what we were looking for. Alright, so we're looking for a center and a defensive lineman. Let's see what's available on the board. There's a good D-tackle here, supposedly going to be good. I don't mind playing D-tackles out of position, that's for sure. And it looks like all the good offensive linemen are taken at this point, which is perfectly fine. Good right tackle. He could turn into something good. I just don't know that we'd be able to play him at center. 27 reps on the bench press, 29, so not very good there. And then we want to look at both of these guys. 35 reps on the bench press and 35 reps. 6'2", 6'5", 304. We're going to go with Tramel Green and hope that he is a solid player. 77 overall with normal. He could at least start at a defensive lineman spot. That one's pretty important. And then we'll see with the next pick if we can pick up another D-tackle or offensive lineman. I didn't even really look at defensive end much, but right end, left end. There's probably a D-tackle, yeah. Jonte Reynolds could probably be a good player. Let's look at O-line again. If there are good offensive linemen here, we might want to consider taking one of them. 28 reps on the bench press. 33 reps on the bench press. This guy's going to at least be a strong player. Yeah, 75 overall with 85 strength. That's pretty good. And then we're going to go ahead and sim to the end of the draft and allow our team to make the rest of the picks, as we've been doing here, as we head into year 6 and hope for the best. We've had a ton of injuries. I don't know what exactly the issue is, but I tried to diagnose the issues and fix them. Everybody should be available to play at this point. So I think moving forward, this team should feel pretty good as is. So let's go ahead and look at the draft recap and just see what our team picked for us. Hopefully they got a steal. 73 wide receiver, 73 corner, 72 right tackle, and a couple of crappy guys down here, which is fine. And we're moving on. And we are going to actually look at free agents here this week. And point of that is we still have some gaps we want to try and fill. And if anybody snuck through like a good quarterback, I don't see why this guy's still sitting out here. That's interesting. Normal development. Duke Johnson Jr., Trey Hendrickson, good defensive end. Malik Barnes. I mean, this is what happens when you get to this point in a franchise. The players are just ridiculously good. And so there's just like an abundance of good players. Like Hakeem Butler here might be worthwhile pickup. Bryce Love at halfback, 95 speed. That's what I like to see. I have room to sign like maybe one of these guys. That's the thing. So let's look offensive line wise and see if there's anything decent here. Yeah, I'd like, honestly, I'm going to just sign the best lineman. And roll with it like that. We're going to move some players around, make some cuts here and everything, and then we'll go with it from there. Part of the fun of this franchise is kind of getting to see all the issues that Madden has. And the fact of the matter is, yes, Madden 19 had a ton of issues, and hopefully a lot of these are fixed moving forward. Like, as you can see, you know, all of these players being this good and falling through free agency and stuff, hopefully things like this are fixed as Madden 20 comes out here. And hopefully, even if they're not fixed, hopefully they get patched up quickly. That's just one of the things that kind of keeps me thinking, is hopefully they continue to progress upon what they've already had, going on in the past. We're going to see if we can bring in Bryce Love. I don't know if we have the salary cap for it. Yeah, we do. Alright, so we're going to have a ton of good running backs in the backfield. And we're going to be living on the edge of the cap, which I don't mind. We're making a run at a Super Bowl here. That's the important part. We got to have a good backfield. I'm convinced that these guys should be able to handle the load. Halfback Patrick Ricard looking really good still. Wide receivers, we're still confident in the wide receivers. I might pick up one of those guys because there was a good overall wide receiver. I just want to release all these lower end guys. I mean, being that our quarterback is a 90-something overall, that hasn't been the issue. Nope, we don't want to edit the player. We want to release him. The quarterback play, the wide receiver play, that can't have been the issue because of how well the quarterback has progressed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go pick up another wide receiver. We're solid at tight end. Also, another part of it is the AI teams might be having cap issues at this point. That's why so many of these guys are still here. Speedster, McCole Hardman. I want to bring in like a lower, somebody that won't start over the other guys. Keelan Cole, Deontay Johnson. Josh Gordon's still out here. Yo, we're gonna go with we're just gonna go with one of the better players, honestly. Hakeem Butler. See if we can fit you in. I have to clear 1.04 million, so we're gonna have to be at like 2.6 or less. Sniper, Tyrell Williams, Josh Dotson. Yeah, we'll go with like Tyrell Williams here. player that I'm not particularly a fan of, but I want to fill out the roster in every way that I can, give it as much detail this year as I can, and if we can't make it happen, then I don't know what to say after that. Left guard. We're going to move you to left guard. Center. Center. Johnson. Alright, David Hayden, the rookie. You can go ahead and play center. And we're just cutting all the dead weight here. Alright, left end. Way too many bad players going on here. Deshaun Hand, still a solid player for us. Nandi. Okay, Bryant Long, you can move to defensive end. Jamel Green. I don't know if we're running a 4-3 or 3-4. It looks like we're probably running a 4-3. No, we're running a 3-4. So Tramel Green, he should be at right end as well. And I should see if I can bring in a depth D tackle. And I should move one of these right ends to left end. Okay, so we're going to keep that in mind. We're going to have to bring in a depth defensive tackle. Our linebackers are solid. 2, 3, 4, 5. Solid at corner. Solid for sure at safety. And we don't have a punter on the team. So we have to bring in a punter, and we have to bring in a depth D tackle. Is there anybody young that I could sign to like a long-term deal? No, we should probably just draft a punter at this point, honestly. You know what, Marquette King, we'll bring you back for a year. Do I have the cap space for you? I do. Now, please tell me that I have the cap space to sign a depth defensive tackle. Hankins. Nobody particularly great down here. So we're just going to go with highest overall. No, 1.16. I have to sign somebody that's cheap. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find anybody in that ballpark. Nope, the other guys are just going to have to do. Bring in the cheapest player possible down here. I know we already had these guys on the team, but there we go. Roster's filled out. Let's go ahead and advance. We should be, yeah, we're at 52, so we'll go ahead and advance to regular season. We'll make sure that the depth chart is set. And then hope that we make it back to the playoffs. With the team that I've constructed, I'm feeling confident like we should make the playoffs, but, you know. At least 9 wins. We've reached 9 wins every single season. We just missed the playoffs the one year because we didn't get the wild card spot. What did I want to do? Depth chart, and then I should probably at some point spend my coach XP, but we'll just wait till the end of the season on that. Yeah, we're going to auto reorder everything. And cross our fingers, hope and pray that we at least get back to the playoffs. Making the move to bring in a star running back, I'm really hoping that that was the answer. If so, then I might have just proven something about simulations on Madden and the fact that it values elite running backs more than most things. There we go. That's the best record by far that we've had as a team so far in this thing. So if we win a playoff game, we might prove the point that Madden 19 heavily overvalues elite running backs. Let me see stats-wise what Christian McCaffrey had for the season. It should scroll through right here without me having to click in. Yep, 1,200 rushing yards, which is a fair number for him, but that's way more than we ever had with an 86 overall. So I think it is clear that the simulation in Madden at least values star running backs quite a bit more than the actual NFL values running backs. So that, you could say, is a problem with Madden. I don't know if it'll be that way in Madden 20, but it is certainly the case here in Madden 19. So that's good to know from a simulation perspective. If you're ever doing something like this, you want to have an elite running back on your team. It won't matter the rest of your team. As long as you don't have an elite running back, it's not going to carry you, because I had a 90-something overall quarterback with great receivers and a great O-line this entire time with a solid defense, and we've yet to achieve this level of success. Now, this will be the second time reaching the divisional playoff round. Let's see if we can get our first win ever against a lesser team, it appears, in the Giants at 10-5-1. So hope that we can get our first playoff win. That would be progress. Yes, guys, we got our first playoff win. We're 13-3, first playoff win in the divisional. Now we're going to the NFC Conference Championship against the Eagles, who are 9-7. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. We might be able to end this right here and now if this team can go on a run. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to advance and see if we can get our second win in the same season. Guys, I think we did. Based on the fact that it's shown Super Bowl Browns up there, I think we might have won that playoff game. Hold on, I didn't look at the... It probably showed the result, and I just missed it. Yes, we won 35-14. We're going to the Super Bowl, guys. We reached our goal. We're to the Super Bowl. Okay, that was our goal. Now, the overall goal is obviously to win the Super Bowl. The Browns won the Super Bowl last season. Can we beat the defending Super Bowl champion Cleveland Browns in order to cap off our 10-year challenge here in Madden 19 and send off a tribute to Madden 19 before I delete it forever and move on to Madden 20? The 13-3 Detroit Lions, their first time ever in a Super Bowl, face off against the Cleveland Browns. Can we win it? Let's see what happens. Somebody got injured in the game. We lost a really close Super Bowl, 30-24 to the Cleveland Browns. That's a disappointment, but that's also a relief, because our overall goal was to get this team to a Super Bowl. Now I'm going to continue this out because I want to get that win. I want to get that elusive Super Bowl win. That's really important to me. But we hit our overall goal, which was to win, which was to take this team to their first ever Super Bowl. And that's extremely important. As you can see, the floating iPhone in the background, the coach not actually loading in. He's that disappointed that he just doesn't exist anymore. Anyway, all right, we had one injury. I'm not even going to look at who it was because it doesn't even matter. We're going to go ahead and upgrade everybody and then re-sign contracts. I don't know how this team's going to do because of the fact that we have cap issues. So we might have to make some trades here. Bryce Love. Is there anybody particularly important? DJ Himes is really important. Do we have the money? He wants 40. Wait, we have 40. Wait, what happened? Did somebody retire? Or we must have just had crazy cap penalties. We have 43 million. That's really good to see. Okay. We're going to give him 5 years. No, yeah, 5 years. 6.5, 3.5. It's more than what you want. And he said the offer's perfect. We kept our star wide receiver. Now let's see if we can bring back our star safety. That's tough. Do we want to pay him that much money? Or do we want to try and trade him away? And then Ali Marpet's another one that wants a considerable deal. We're going to bring back Tremaine Patrick because he was a good player for us, and we can sign him to a cheap deal long term that I'm confident in. So we've got both our receivers back. Actually, we can have a chance to sign all 3 receivers back, and then we won't have to worry about the future very much at the wide receiver position. And that would make me feel really good going and having to negotiate with these other spots. The backup quarterback, Graham Griffin, what does he want? He wants 7 per. I know he's an 80 overall, but I almost feel like we just have to have faith in our starter and let this guy go. I think that's fair. Suak Cravens played really well for us. He's 29 years old, though, at this point. I'm not going to bet on him yet. Wait, Armani Jordan had star? Did I miss that? Or did he just get star from being in the Super Bowl? This was the center. I'm keeping you around for sure if you have star potential. That's a lock. That is absolutely a lock. This corner we can move on from. We'll find somebody about your overall. We can move on from the offensive lineman. We can find quite a few offensive linemen for a very good price. Player retention-wise, we need to worry about who? Punter. And we need Marpet and Carl Joseph. So I'm curious to see what the free agency class looks like. But I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find a trade partner for those two and maybe bring back something good in return. Thornhill's up to a 90. Carl Joseph. I'd really like to just get a good offensive lineman back in return. I'd like to get a good safety as well. Actually, I think... What do we got? What do the Bengals got? Jesse Bates. What will it take to get Jesse Bates? Somebody that's a little bit younger. Both of those guys? That gets us close. That definitely gets us close. We might be able to find better value on another team. What do you have O-line wise? The Bills. And I know their safeties aren't that great. They kind of digressed. Broncos. I know that Simmons is really good, but he's also hitting 30 years old. I was going to say 80 years old, Jesus. Tom Brady might be 80 years old when he's done playing in the NFL. Marquise Blair, that's what I would like to see. He'd be a great player. Yeah, so we're going to see if we can bring in Marquise Blair. Yep, alright, we were able to flip those two slightly older players for an 89 overall strong safety. We will have to fill an offensive line position. We have lots of money to do it. Pretty confident in that. But that takes off two of the big contracts that we needed to sign. I don't need to bother signing Bryce Love to a big deal. Just not worth it at this point. The backup left tackle, he is a 79, so I do want to bring him back in because he might have been a key contributor. That's a little bit more money than I'm willing to pay him, though. I could probably find a better punter, and I could certainly find better at these other positions. I don't need to franchise tag him. Suau Cravens, I do kind of want to bring Suau back in. That's an average of what? About $1 million per year? No, wait, about 3 per year. That might be a little bit more than I'm willing to go. Yeah, that's a bit more than I'm willing to go. We might be able to get him cheaper on the market, to be honest with you. Yeah, let's go ahead and advance to free agency and see who's there. William Jackson, we could bring in an impact corner, impact offensive lineman. We should have just waited on safety because Marquise McCarthy is here. Carson Wentz is available, Von Bell. Lots of safeties in this class, actually. We could use a defensive lineman. Good offensive lineman still here. Oh, wait, good offensive lineman there. That was one that we needed, right? Wide receiver-wise, we kept all our receivers. We're clean there. We could use a third running back. We're going to need a backup quarterback, and we need a right tackle. Jesse James took a big hit that year. Shaq Thompson, we might want to deal away. He's starting to regress. And we want a defensive end still. Okay. I have an idea of what we need. We need a punter as well. So let me go ahead and do that before I forget, because I know that'll be something I forget right away. None of these guys are even worth it. Let's just draft a punter, honestly. We don't need either safety spot. Corner-wise, we're fine. Linebacker. Don't need a defensive end. Solomon Thomas. We do need a defensive end. So Solomon Thomas could be a big impact player. Put us over the edge to a Super Bowl. Yeah, let's see what Solomon Thomas is going for. A 3-year deal. I don't know if I'm comfortable doing that with the amount of money that's being bid on him right now. And Leonard Hennings. Very good offensive lineman. We're going to put in a bid on him, and we're going to try and bring back our backup offensive lineman. But we're going to try and bid him down a little bit. We might try and offer a 1-year deal to Travis Frederick. We could reunite the Iowa tight ends. That would be an interesting way to go. Alright, let's look at the halfbacks. Bring in like Philip Lindsay for a year. We're going to have to negotiate some of these contracts out. Alright, my negotiations, let's take a look at all of them. Most important one is this left tackle. I think we just have to withdraw from Travis Frederick, because then that gives us room to negotiate with these other guys. Six years, 7.5. $4.25. More guaranteed money, I think the more likely the points will go up. Yeah, 107, that should be good. This guy I don't foresee us needing to give such a big contract to. So we'll go 2.0 and 1.75 mil. I just want depth at the running back spot, and then I want to try and get back this offensive lineman for a cheap deal. Way less than what he was originally asking for. That might not be enough. That might be, though. Nope, that's not enough. I think it's because he wants 4 years. Fine, you can have your 4-year. No, that's still not enough, because you're in it for the money. Alright, 74 points, 73 points. We got the big bid on the left tackle. Do I want to spend that much money on Solomon Thomas? An 86 overall. That he's only got quick potential. I could probably I feel like I could probably find a defensive end that's a better fit. Polite, Winovich, Win. He wants 11.1. Yeah, I feel like I could get Winovich, or Kershke, sorry, for a reasonable price. 3 years. And then that might allow us to actually bid on Frederick like we wanted to have that excess offensive lineman. Did we put in for a punter? Let's just go for Logan Cook. I don't want to sign a punter for this much money. I'm just not even going to do it. I'm not going to bother. We need a backup quarterback. That's something I need to think about. I definitely don't feel like we're going to be able to get any of these guys for a reasonable price. So we might just let them fall. Alright, I'm confident in that. That's who we're bidding on. We're bidding on a depth halfback, 2 offensive linemen, and a defensive end to start. And then if any of those guys slip through to free agency in preseason, that'll make me feel a little bit better. Alright, 2 of our guys must have better negotiation offers. Kershke, that's a no. They're offering him quite a bit of money for Kuhn. So we're not going to offer him, but we are going to look at the other guys. So 79. I would take the 77 for cheaper, honestly. Give me 3 years. I'll give him exactly what he wants, and that's a cheaper deal. Probably a better deal. More favorable, in my opinion. And then I think we're good from there. That's the first time we've actually had to go to week 2 of free agency signings. Let's go ahead and sim to the draft. And position focus for the draft. What are we looking for? We filled the D-line spot. What am I looking for? I don't even know. Let's see what's here. I might even consider trading away the pick for the first time in a while. We did want a backup quarterback, that's for sure. So one of those first-round quarterbacks couldn't hurt. We're good at wide receiver. We could use a tight end. Can't hurt to draft extra offensive linemen or defensive linemen. Antoine Burks is a first-round corner sitting here. Slow. Draft a punter in the first round? Anybody? Any takers? What did we say was still here? The tight end. Do we think the tight end is worth it? Probably not. But positional, more important. Yeah, I mean, 75, that'll be a half-decent tight end. Positionally speaking, more important than drafting a backup quarterback, so maybe second round we'll take a backup quarterback, because I imagine all these first round guys will still be here, because that's another broken thing that we've discovered here, is that the AI don't like to take quarterbacks in the draft. So we just got an 80 overall with Quick as our backup quarterback. Nice. Alright, we're going to go ahead and sim to the end of the draft. Yeah, they just take all the other skill positions first, and the quarterbacks are just left to sit there. I think that's one of the problems with franchise mode in Madden, is that the quarterbacks, they can't accurately represent what NFL quarterbacks are actually like, and how, quickly they fall off or are run out of the league if they aren't elite level. Draft recap as usual. Heading into Season 7, I feel just as confident about this team as I did prior, especially now that we made it to the Super Bowl and hit our goal. Let's go ahead and advance. And I want to take a look. We brought in a backup quarterback. We brought in our running back. And we're good at these other positions. So it's automatically putting these guys at the correct spots. Let me go ahead and make sure that Taylor Decker is officially listed as the right tackle, because otherwise some wonkiness might start happening. Defensive line-wise, Kershey, Hand, Robinson, Byron Murphy. We might want to invest in another corner here soon. Maybe next free agency if someone's there. And then Shaq Thompson is aging at linebacker, so that's something we definitely want to consider. Yeah, I think we're good to... What does the roster look like? 63 players, so I'll have to cut. Just take me to preseason week 4, and then that'll make cutting easier. I think this duo of Cummins at QB and then being able to actually get an elite running back in Christian McCaffrey is what finally kind of sealed the deal for us. Yeah, just cut all these 60s because they don't matter. Yes, cut. 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 Right tackle, Antoine Newsome. Center. No, I feel like I need to cut somebody else. Do I even have a punter? I didn't draft a punter. Okay, we got Matt Wiley, whatever you want to call him. What position do we have excess at? We really don't. Right end, left end. We can cut this D tackle, and the reason being is that the D ends will be able to fill in a D tackle just fine. Alright. Advance to playoffs, guys. I'm expecting to make playoffs again. But the way things have been going, I wouldn't be surprised if we somehow miss the playoffs. So we got 2 playoff wins last time. Two playoff wins out of 5 playoff berths. Total of 7 games, 2 wins. We might have done it again. No, we missed playoffs at 8-8. That's great to see. So we might not have proved anything, to be honest with you. I thought we proved something in that having the running back was important. Maybe he's injured. Let's go ahead and advance forward. Bills versus Giants. That's interesting to see. Will the Bills get their first Super Bowl win? No, the Giants won another Super Bowl. Alright, we got some negotiations going on. What the hell happened? Where did this guy come from? What? Did a trade happen without my knowledge? And we're cap stuck again. So I'm going to have to do some cap finagling. Trade away some of these dead salaries. Alright, quarterback, you're staying. Hand, you're staying. Hennings, staying. Staying. Ashawn Robinson, time to deal you away. So we got to keep in mind Robinson, Decker, and Jesse James are three of the big ones. Anybody interested in... The Bengals were interested in two of them, at least. How much do you value your D-tackle? Alright, that one was kind of a ripoff, but I don't got time to sit here and fiddle with it all day, because we have a Super Bowl to find. Got to be a team that wants a corner and a outside linebacker. There, 49ers want all three of them. Safety corner, outside linebacker. You guys don't happen to have a safety, do you? No. But we can get an outside linebacker replacement because they have an excess here. Alright, so we got to do some wheeling and dealing to actually make this work at this point. We're going to have to bring in a corner. That will probably happen through free agency. He's going to get moved to outside linebacker. I think Gerard Davis is fine. Tackle. Right end. Left guard, center. Right guard. We need a right tackle. Alright, team that needs a QB. There you go. Tell us you have a good offensive lineman for us. Travis Frederick. Juwan Taylor. Not quite. Did Aaron Rodgers retire? Aaron Rodgers retired. They don't need him, though. Cam Newton is out. That gets us close. We give you a third round pick. Alright. Did some rearrange in there. Is that enough cap space to allow us to at least re-sign? So those are guys we traded for. Don't care about the punter. Safety, really important. You're going to get franchise tagged, which is fine. I don't have the salary cap room. How do I still not have the salary cap room? Shaquan Cohen. Is it giving me a salary cap for trading away all those players? Yeah, it's giving us a crazy-ass cap penalty. So let's see. We're just going to have to fix the cap penalty and go from there. Does that give us enough to actually be able to re-sign? Yeah, that fixes it. More people testing free agency. We don't need the halfback. We're good on the other spots. So season 6, we made it to the Super Bowl. Season 7, missed the playoffs. Season 8, we're trying to retool again. Malik Hooker, Zach Martin. Ooh, lots of good players. Aging players, though. Kicker. Jake Elliott, let's hope he signs. Tyrann Mathieu out here. Is there a good corner? That's what I'm looking for at this point. Julian Love, 27. Carol Hunter. And we're solid elsewhere. Backup quarterback we need. Andrew Luck, you want a 1-year deal? That won't make you happy. You probably won't sign it, but I'm not sure too much what else to do at this point.
All combine stats, such as the 40-yard dash, are now available in scouting.
Alright, are there any of these free agents that we didn't get? Andrew Luck, which I'm not worried about. Alright, let me take a look at this roster. I might need to reorder the positions a little bit. Left end, you're going to be a right end. And geez, how many freaking 70, 67 overall players are we going to have on this team? Alright. I'm pretty confident where we're at. See what we can do. Hopefully we can draft like a nice starter for the future. We missed playoffs, so we get a good first round pick here. Or a half decent first round pick. Maybe we'll actually get a shot at somebody good. A safety for the future could be good. A defensive tackle. We do need a defensive lineman. But there's two really good safeties here, supposedly. Could also use that outside linebacker. Mid first rounder. Early first rounder. We're going to go with the safety. Yeah, 81. Let's go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to trade away and try to obtain some draft capital for next season. So this is a second round pick. Give me a second, third, and a sixth from the Browns. Yes. I want to try and move up and get like a really impact player. That might be what we need. So if I just trade away all these picks, I can add some extra capital. 121.
I see both teams filling out cards. You know what that means? We've got a trade. The Lions are now on the clock.
Round 2 corner. Just sitting here.
The Browns are now on the clock.
I mean, he's not good, but worth a flyer. And then we're just going to sit to the end of the draft. The rest of these picks don't matter. And then I got some Coach XP to spend. Actually, a lot of Coach XP to spend. We want all the XP. That's the most important thing. Player retention. Quarterback. So what? That was season. What season was that? I lost track at this point. So we did. Hold on, rushing. View player card. Stats. First season we traded for McCaffrey was 1,200 yards. That was season 5, season 6, season 7. So we're heading into season 8. Right? Season 5, missed playoffs. Season 7, made it to the Super Bowl. Season 8. Wait, season 5, season 6. No, season 6, season 7, season 8. So we're heading into season 9. So in season 6, missed the playoffs. Season 7, made Super Bowl. Season 8, missed the playoffs. So we got 2 seasons left to make this happen. Make a Super Bowl happen.
Start your week by installing your game plan.
Let's get us to preseason week 4, and then we'll take care of our next to last season in the 10-year challenge. cuts to make. Wow, there's actually some good free agents out here. I don't have the cap to sign him anyway. $4 million. Desmond Trufant. We could bring back Darius Slay for a Super Bowl run. I like that idea. Darius Slay, welcome home for a Super Bowl run. Then we got a bunch of players to cut. Cut. Alright, we're going to roll with it like this. Alright, advance to playoffs. Season 9, what's the outcome? Season 10, we're going all in no matter what, if we have to. And that means we're done playing it realistic. We got to try and do everything we can to win this team a Super Bowl. We were a touchdown away the last time. All right, we got a wild card playoff. That's interesting. Lots of player upgrades. Can we get the wild card win? Our first playoff win since that Super Bowl run. We lost 42-21 to the Redskins. What is wrong with this team? I don't understand. All right, we got some major things we got to figure out. We got one season left in the 10-year challenge to win a Super Bowl. What do we got to do to make it happen? Bills and Giants back in the Super Bowl again. Bills finally win a Super Bowl. There we go. Quinn Lewin. We can use him as trade bait. Byron Murphy. We got to give you what you want. Franchise tag. We got to bring all these guys back in and hope for the best. He's got superstar, damn. Alright, Hassan, you're getting traded away. Sidney Jones, you're probably also getting traded away. Yeah. ACL tear, holy shit. You're not coming back. You're not coming back. Or you. Or any of these guys. Alright, so who do we have to officially trade away? Sidney Jones, Gerard Davis. Burge. Probably can't trade him away. Quinn Lewin. Hassan Reddick. So Hassan Reddick, Sidney Jones. Alright, time to get wild with these trades. Hassan Reddick. Sidney Jones. And the backup quarterback. So the Eagles want all three. Next year's third should get me there. Alright, one of these guys is going to play defensive end. Hassan Reddick. Who wants Hassan Reddick? How unrealistic can we get? Greedy Williams? No. Okay. We might just leave Hassan Reddick. Honestly. OBJ? Wait, who would this put over the salary cap? Me? Oh shit. Draft pick. Second round pick for Greedy. Oh, that's so close. Alright, if we give him the other second round pick, it should work. So close again, we might have to give him our first, or our first next year. You know what? It's the last year. We trade everything to get this team as good as possible. Alright, first round pick it is. Alright, we're solid at QB. Halfback. Solid. Solid. Solid at wide receiver. Solid at tight end. Solid at O-line. Outside linebacker. We still need the outside linebacker. It's got to be a team that wants all these guys. Alright, that's as good as we're going to get. I don't even know if cap-wise that worked for us, but... Who do we need to move around? I don't think any offensive linemen. Defensive line-wise, we did need to move one guy. Deron Payne, you can play defensive end, right? Yep. Left outside, middle, right outside. You're a 99 at middle linebacker. That is excellent. Jerome Baker, you should go up to a 90-something if we move you to outside. Excellent. 93. 2 90s and an almost 90 at corner. And then 2 really high-end safeties. If that's not all in, I don't know what is, and I don't know what it's going to take to win a Super Bowl. But this is our last shot. We had to go big. We go big or we go home. Well, we're going home either way, but we at least reached the goal of making it to a Super Bowl. That was the goal I set out to obtain. We got them to their first Super Bowl. We made the fans partially proud. Do we have money to negotiate with anybody now? We have negative cap space. Cool. And we don't need to negotiate with any of these players. Let me do a cap clear because we screwed ourselves again. And see how this works out. Is there anybody here worth clearing cap space for? Myles Garrett would certainly be a player that would be worth clearing cap space for. Can we free up over $10 million in cap space? That's the question. Probably not, and probably not worth the effort. So, that being said, sim to next season. We're not even going to do we're not even going to bother with the draft. We're going to let it do its own thing. I just want to see what happens.
Start your week by installing your game plan.
All right, can they make it happen? A lot of aging players on this season, on this team. Sim to the playoffs. I was really proud when we managed to take this team to a Super Bowl, and I thought it was all uphill from there. But realistically, when you reach that peak, it's all downhill after that. And it's not consistent when you simulate. There's injuries, all this different stuff, so it's got to be considered. We get a wild card game. This is our last breath chance. Our last opportunity to make it happen. Can this team make the dream run all the way to the Super Bowl from the wild card spot? We will see. Nope, there you have it. We lost by 3 points to the Saints in year 10 in the wild card spot. I will go ahead and do the final upgrades and show you guys where the team ended up. We were able to make one Super Bowl run, and I believe that we won a total of 2 playoff games, and that was during that Super Bowl run. As you can see, the team overall ended up as a 94, a 95 on offense and a 95 on defense. There's not much excuse as to why this team wasn't able to achieve more success. I can't quite diagnose what the issue was. I thought solving the running back problem was going to be it. And actually, how did we end up in a wild card game? Playoff division. How did we end up in a wild card game if we won the division? I think that's just another Madden glitch there. We ended up in a wild card game, though we won the division, so that's an interesting thing to note. Somehow that happened. But regardless of that fact, this team had no excuse to not win a Super Bowl. We went all out in the second half of this thing, in the second half of this 10-year challenge to win them a Super Bowl. We got them to a Super Bowl, but they weren't able to carry us over the threshold to victory. This is a real nice place to stop because Quinn Cummins hit a 99 overall with confidence here. The great quarterback, let's check out his stats over the 10-year challenge and see how everything ended up. Obviously, he wasn't around for the full 10 years, but a very, very good quarterback throughout his career, with over 100 QBR in every single season over 100 passer rating in every season except for his sophomore slump. Passing for 41 touchdowns in 2023 and kind of declining after that. Has a very good completion percentage in every single season, has a good yards number in every single season, but seemed to have some issues, I guess, apparently, in terms of actually taking this team to victory. That's quite an interesting run there. Christian McCaffrey, once we brought him over, did very well. He had over 1,000 yards in each of those seasons. The wide receiving core, I can't imagine they let him down very much, and the O-line didn't let them down. And the defense as constructed, I just can't see how this team didn't manage to win it all. We brought in the 99 at linebacker this season to make an impact. We brought in Daron Payne to restack that defensive line and that pass rush. Good linebackers across the board, good safeties, bunch of good corners. Brought in Greedy Williams to try and make an impact, and that still wasn't enough to send this team to another Super Bowl. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe you got something out of this. This was a nice transition for me to say goodbye to Madden 19 and prepare myself for Madden 20. So hopefully you guys can at least just appreciate the fact that this is something that I like to do, to transition myself from Madden to Madden from year to year, and get us prepared for Madden 20, because it's about to be released, and some people have the game already and there's some content coming out. So I need to send off Madden 19 with a proper goodbye, and this is my goodbye to Madden 19, and onward and upward to better things, which would be Madden 20 and other games that are coming out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. Please subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you guys, as always, in the next one. Whatever we decide to do in the next video, I'm going to go ahead and check comment and then sign off for the day. Alright, like I said, I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a great one.